Welcome back to an episode of the PokeStop Podcast. I am your host, Zach Pra, as always joined by my amazing co-host, Thad Wayne. Thad, how you doing today?
Zach, we're doing dandy.
That's good. That's wonderful. Thad, did you watch any of the regional this weekend?
No, Zach, I did not.
Damn.
Actually have...
No.
You know my thoughts on this? I have almost zero interest
What
in
if I
standard
told
format
you?
right now, so...
What if I told you Guardy won?
Wow. I would say I cannot wait for rotation.
Now, Thad, what if I told you second place was the greatest deck of all time?
Dragon Ball.
It was not Dragon Ball. It was, in the year of our Lord, 2026, Raging Bolt with Noctowl.
Oh, that's right. It was Raging Bolt.
Yeah. We were in Discord with I was in Discord with a bunch of local players up here in Ohio, and like I genuinely crashed out when I thought people were trolling me when they kept saying like, oh, Bolt won in top 8, Bolt won in top 4, and then when I saw a Raging Bolt on stream in the finals, I straight up crashed out. Like I almost fell out of my chair in like unironically. Like it was crazy. Just like seeing that was mind blowing to me. I think it's such a crazy, just like I played the deck. It just feels like Terrabox. Genuinely. Yeah. Like it doesn't feel like a Bolt list. It feels like a Terrabox list that plays Bolt. Which I think is really cool. Like I'm always going to be happy when I see my long neck in finals. Like, that's just, like, my guy. But, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's your Pikachu, right? It's like you put it in active, you blow up whatever you need to blow up.
Yeah, for sure. I think it makes sense in Terrabox as just it's like the Raichu from the old, like, Miraidon list last year, right? Like, it was your like your ultimate, right? Like it was your how I hit big number in a deck that just struggles to hit the big number. I think especially with like the way the format's going, like the Pikachu hitting 300 is no longer relevant when we have like Venusaur's at 380, Lucario's at 350, you know,
340.
Yeah, 340. Like 300 will no longer be a number that we really care about. Even like there's a lot of ways to extend your health now too, with like especially the Kangaskhan's with Bouvalance, Lively Stadium, Bravery Charm. We still have X, right? Bravery does Charm rotate?
Charm does rotate.
Damn, no more Charm. But Lively doesn't, correct?
Lively does not know. That was SSP.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I unfortunately have like an encyclopedic knowledge of the cards that rotate because all I've been doing is prepping for rotation. So
you have, yeah. I finally went through my I have like a 2-row of like all the bulk playable stuff, and I finally went through and pulled all the G rotation stuff out because I think just for the rest of the format, I'm just gonna play dengo. Like I'm not going any majors. I'm gonna go to maybe 4 or 5 cups, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay, turn off brain, play Gholdengo, win game.
Yeah, I mean, I currently don't have any plans to go to any cups between now and rotation.
Yeah.
And
I couldn't imagine
it's just like
going 2 months without cups. I'm like starting to like twitch going like 2 weeks without cups. Like it's just, I hate it. I really hate it. It's something like we've talked about in the podcast before too, like my obsession with cups and like this area not scheduling their cups in an intelligent way. It's it's so annoying.
I schedule cups to be done when I need them to be done.
Yeah, like I get it. Like, you know, like I understand like people have jobs. This is not a job, right? Like running league cups is not a profession. Despite
if I was getting
what some people might
getting paid,
want to think. Yeah, for sure. Like if you worked for the store, it'd be way different. But like, you know, a lot of league leaders don't work for the stores. Like we're not employees of the store. We're people with real, like with day jobs outside of the trading card game industry. So like we have to, especially like for you, like you work retail. So like you literally have to, like the reason our cup is so far out, like our cup is like the middle of March. because that's like the next time you can get the day.
Yeah.
Like that's just
There's literally there's like so few Saturdays that I can do it that like I
yeah.
just put it on the first Saturday that like I feel.
Yeah.
I just talked to the store owner and I'm like, I ask him what Saturday works between like 3 different days I give him, and whatever it's the day he says works for him
Yeah.
works for me. So because I mean he also kind of has to like collaborate amongst the other games that they host. So
Yeah, like I understand we're having to like, we're trying to blend a lot of different things. Like all these different stores who don't have a ton of availability because they all are running their own games. They're all running like, One Piece, Magic, Pokemon, Lorcana, Riftbound out now. Like there's just so many different things that have to exist in like each store's ecosystem.
too many TCGs.
There's so many. And I feel like I don't know, did you see that they announced Pal World is getting a TCG as well?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be terrible. I'm just going to call it right now. I think it's going to be absolutely garbage. As someone who actually liked Pal World, like I played a lot of Pal World when that game came out, and like I think it's going to be terrible.
Well, they announced no mechanics. They only showed like a textless card.
Yeah, it's just there's nothing out now, and we're 6 months from their launch. I don't know.
And there's like no information. I don't know. It seems super sketchy. I don't like it.
It seems like making a TCG is just the new thing an IP has to do. And like I don't like that at all.
I don't agree.
Yeah. Like I think it's just going to become like the new slog, the new NFT. Like the new thing, like everyone did NFTs. Like it's going to be everyone does trading card games. And
there's an NFT trading card game.
Yeah, it was called MetaZoo.
No, there's another one.
I mean, there's a scammer born every minute.
Dude, it's called Azuki, and it's a huge scam.
Okay. I've heard very little about this.
It's loosely based off One Piece because the owner of the NFT, it's a whole thing. I'm not going to go into it, but Google it yourself if you care. I think it's a waste of time.
Sure.
And if you are an NFT enjoyer and listening to this podcast, politely,
please stop listening.
Stop. Please leave us alone.
Go back to Logan Paul's pod. Go watch Impulsive. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, full context, I did buy and sell NFTs when they came out, but I also understood what it was as like a cash grab, and I utilized it as a cash grab. Like I think in total I invested $200 and walked out with much more than that.
Yeah, that's the name of the game.
I bought a fancy smoker and named it NFT.
As you should have.
I was like, okay, this works for me.
Get what you need and get out.
That was 100%. But
anyways, Zach.
Yeah. Back to this whole Pokemon podcast thing. I've been seeing this thing on Twitter the past like few days, weeks. Pretty much like the last since like for some reason since like January, of like this concept of like a sweaty player. And I don't know if you know this, Thad, but sweaty players are often called customers and just players by most people. And my thing is like, if you are like not wanting to run events because the sweats will show up, then don't sell the product. Like I'm sorry, but like, and it's like honest, like it's like the thing that kind of prompted this was I tweeted out a few weeks ago about how in my area there are like 30 shops that can run a challenge, but less than half of them are running cups. And I was like, that is kind of insane. Like for me, that is absurd. Like if you are, and I think that that Pokemon should be penalizing these like stores in different places if we're not going to run events then like what is the point there, right? So like I have the actual tweet up here. Is there a reason there are 26 stores in my area with challenges but only 11 have cups? At Play Pokemon stores not running cups hurt players for literally no reason. And I don't think that's an incorrect take in any way. Like I genuinely would love to hear like dissenting opinions on that, because it's like, and I understand. And there were some people who like replied and was like, "Oh, we just haven't scheduled yet," and that's fine. Sure, all good. But okay, so like let's say 5 just haven't scheduled yet. That is still 16 out of 26. Let's say maybe another 3 or 4 still also haven't scheduled because they don't have access to it yet. I don't think that's the case for any of them, but like, you do you. As someone who goes to way too many cups, why are we? And I think you should be penalized. Genuinely, I think if you're not going to run the events, you should not be given priority access to product. I think if you're a store that is like reporting everything, you're running your pre-releases, you're running your challenges, you're running your cups, you have no issues, you're in good standing, I think you should be given priority when it comes to ordering product, right? If you're like a store that is doing everything to grow the game, you should be rewarded for that. By like, you know, when the orders come in and store A asks for 90 boxes, store B asks for 90 boxes, but store A does everything, store B does nothing as far as Play Pokemon, right? They have like a weekly free play open table deal. Maybe they run a challenge every month, but they don't run the cups. You should not be rewarded. You should be penalized for that. And we should be rewarding stores who are actually supporting the scene.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with this at all. I feel like it's, and again, coming from like a biased perspective as a tournament organizer myself, I feel like stores withholding tournaments or sort of reducing their the amount of players that can play in tournaments, like sort of on purpose to manufacture the scarcity of being able to play there. I think they should not be able to be a part of like the early sale process. They should not be, because like if you are a Play Pokemon store and you have cups enabled, you technically can sell products like 5 days before it actually hits like big box stores.
Yeah.
I think that should get revoked.
I agree. That actually, I never thought about that. I think that'd be great. You know how many stores would start running cups? All these stores would run cups.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just how like you know you can sell singles for the set, because like you can obviously buy like from pre-release kits and stuff. Yeah, I just don't think that they should have access to those sort of marketing materials and those sort of premium access to products. Yeah, I can't disagree with this at all.
Yeah, and like that's like, I wanted to ask you this because like I'm primarily a player that also like is in the program and does judge and does do tournament organizing, and you're like the opposite. You're mainly like a judge tournament organizer who also plays.
Yeah,
like I really just, I hate the mentality that like sweaty players make the game less fun, when like, I'm sorry, I didn't know you had to like play a terrible deck to have fun. I didn't know I had to play like Garchomp. Like, I don't even know. Like, do I have to play like Tyranitar EX to be considered fun? Like, just let me know which decks aren't allowed. And like, if you don't want people to play the decks, then tell Pokemon not to print them. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Why is Gardevoir and Dragapult a fun deck that just says item lock for the first 5 turns, but Gholdengo is somehow some sweaty deck that isn't fun?
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like it's, for the most part, not too big of a problem, but like you said, some stores just don't seem to care. And to your point, like, I like fun formats, and like I do find standard at times to be super unfun in some capacities when we're like in a 4 deck format like we are now. Like,
Sure.
so like I understand like the sweatiness is like you just are a person who plays one of these 4 decks, right? But then like if that's a problem you're having, open your league up to playing other formats.
Play GLC.
Play GLC.
Play
If you
retro.
want to have a casual,
Yeah.
GLC retro, not expanded because expanded's garbage.
No, expanded's terrible. People who like try to talk me into expanded, I was like, I can just tell you didn't play before 2020.
Yeah, no.
Like,
well, and
no one who
it's
actually
even
played
worse,
expanded
so.
liked expanded. It's what made it. It's what made it's. I think it's what made it expanded kind of fun, because like most people didn't take it seriously and just like had an expanded deck sitting on a shelf that I grabbed whenever I needed an expanded deck.
Well, if you made day 2 back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean like 2019, 2018, like when like expanded regionals were a thing and like
Yeah.
invites weren't requiring a passport. When we had like 15 events a year in North America. Fun fact, that used to be a thing.
There used to be like a something every quarter. Or every month, I think that there was a something.
Yeah, I mean there were
a regional.
Yeah, there was always something. It was great.
There were actually a ton of special events. There's way more special events back then than there were now.
There were more events back then than there were now. And I think honestly, part of it is there were more organizers. Like there were more people able to do the events. So like you like back in like Sun and Moon era, which is like mainly when I played like a more competitive style pre-COVID, you had like Overload, you had Day 2, there was like a third one, but like you had multiple organizers. So like, okay, an organizer can do like 4 or 5 events a year. So instead of one organizer doing maybe 10 really subpar events that we'll get into later, you had 2 or 3 organizers each doing 5 good events a year. So instead of having like 10 mediocre events, you had like 12 great events every year. It was amazing, which I think is also why I'm like so anti-gaming, Jen, because like I remember I know what it's like. But yeah, I just think like the sweaty player thing as a reason we're not running cups. It genuinely just strikes me as like bad faith. Like you just don't want to do the work. Like I don't really care. Like that's the business you're in. Right? Like if I'm a lawyer, I don't get mad that I have to go to court. You know what I mean? Like sure, maybe going to court isn't your favorite aspect of your job, but like it's a part of your job, brother. Like if you work in like if you work in like a call center, you're not like mad when someone is angry on the phone. Like, yeah, it's probably unpleasant. You probably don't want to deal with it, but like that's the job, brother. And there's also not that many unpleasant people in the hobby. Like, let's just be honest here. Like, if you're not on Twitter, there's like 99% just pleasant individuals in like the Pokemon trading card game. Like, I think locally, like, you know, there's maybe 1 or 2 people who aren't like the friendliest or like aren't really people you want to really talk to. But that's like 1 or 2 out of like 75. I mean, and obviously, and like I said, no one wants to talk to me. I'm the worst. I'm just a sweaty dengo player. I'm the worst. No one likes me. It's fine.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, it really irritates me when like people have that like, we don't do it because of the sweaties. And I was like, what are they doing? Are they not showering? Are people coming in with just BO? Because like, I'm gonna be honest, that ain't Pokemon players. That's just people.
Yeah, that's just any card gaming community.
Yeah, like we're just like every TCG is just like, for the lack of a better term, just like the outcasts. Like
it's just full of people who are
like neurodivergent, like who just like cardboard.
Not aware of body odor.
Yeah. And that's like every game. So like, okay, are you gonna stop running Gundam? Are you gonna stop running like One Piece? Because like there's a smelly guy? Yeah, I don't know. That's all I got on the sweaty people rant. I don't know. I don't like it. I think it's nonsense. And I think Pokemon should do something to penalize stores acting that way. Because I don't know if you know this, there is a code of conduct, and inclusivity is a part of that code of conduct. So if we're excluding people based off of text they play, I don't know. That feels like we're breaking that policy. But feel free to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Moving on. The Toronto Pokemon Regional Championships. Thad, I know you were saying you love Standard and you watched every minute of it.
I'm actually just getting caught up with Limitless, so
no, it was honestly I loosely watched it. A lot of Pult, a lot of Guardy. There was a Gholdengo in top 8. Justin Templar made top 8 with Gholdengo, the classic Dengo rocks. With Secret Box, which I've never been a big fan of Secret Box and Dengo. I think his list was pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty good.
I mean, it makes sense for the tournament. The only thing I just don't like about that Dengo style is I just don't like to make them all wild. You can catch me sideways with the Mega Mall Wild. I think the Cypher was kind of cool.
Yeah, Cypher's interesting for sure.
Oh, excuse me. Yawn.
Yawn.
The Bravery Charm for the mirror tech.
Yeah, the charm was very interesting. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Secret Box just in general. I think Prime is just a better A spec for this deck in general. But we did have the Mega Mawile. I would have just rather not have seen a cornerstone tech at all than Mawile. Yeah. I think Bunny is just better. I love the Cypher. I think finding a room for Cypher in a Secret Box deck makes sense.
Yeah.
I just wish there was more than Artisan. Just because I feel like the Secret Box, we're just not getting a stadium.
Stadiums right now are just super mid, just in the game altogether.
Especially for Gholdengo, there's just not a great stadium. I think you just play Artisan as a way to bump tower.
Yeah, I mean, I could see maybe a battle cage, just that Monkey Dory.
Maybe, yeah.
Shenanigans.
I don't hate that, especially against Guardy. Because I think Guardy, they're pretty much just running one Garden, one Artisan, right?
Some of them are on 2 Artisan, no Garden. Some are on 1-1. Some, yeah, I would say I think the Chow 60 has 2 Artisan.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, I mean, some Guardians were taking in Watchtower.
Yeah, I don't
sure.
Overall, I don't hate the list. I think it's pretty good. Obviously, he did really well with it. I think he played this. I think Andrew Hedrick also played this list. So very good, very accomplished players played this. So obviously the deck has merit. I just wasn't a huge fan. The Giovanni Sasso list, which ended up winning the entire event. A lot of stuff going on here. Played the Frillish, 2 Frillish and 1 Jellison. I think that's pretty normal. Mega Diancie, which I think I didn't expect to be as good as it is. Especially against Dragapult or against Gholdengo. Super good. The classic 4 Lily, 4 Iono. Secret Box. The Watchtower is interesting.
I don't hate it. I mean, it's a good tech for Charizard.
Yeah, really good for Charizard. I just I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Because I feel also for Charizard, I think Screamtail's kind of broken. Especially if you can set up a multiple monkey ping onto the Pidgeot plus Iono. Plus again, then Watchtower's also really good. So if you can that late game Iono to 2, get rid of the Pidgeot and leave a 1 prizer and they're at 2 prizes.
Yeah.
Especially if you've if you've been able to play around Briar, that could be really strong.
Yeah, I mean, if you can play around the
one
Briar
counter
situation,
catcher
then
though, that is kind of I don't know. Only one Gus in the entire deck, and like I get it, you have Screamtail, but like I don't know.
I think that's the thought. Is like if you're leaning really heavy into Screamtail, then like you just don't care to gust. You're just using the Screamtail to do what you need to do,
Yeah,
which like makes sense. I mean, you're just sniping around what you need. If you're gonna do that though, I would prefer 2 charm.
mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's just my preference towards Guardy.
Yeah. Let me look at the let's look at the
Not
Henry
great.
Chow Guardy list, because this also he got 11th, but he just lost his asymmetrical round. So he did make top cut. Just wasn't able to get the win and into top 8.
Yeah, I do really like his list.
I think that's just
It's
like
not
I
too
think
far.
like the default play Guardy list is just limitless.com/Henry Chow. Like
Yeah.
I think that's just what you're doing at this point. No Jellicent and only 1 Frillish.
I like that. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, the Lux Cape is really good. I think Lux Cape can actually be super good, especially if you can like not let them have. It lets Screamtail just hit massive numbers, especially if you can get like if you can somehow find a way to get all 8 energy on a Screamtail. Like we're sniping for a 320. Like that's insane.
The only thing that sucks on this list is not playing Mega Diancie.
Yeah, which I guess like that maybe that's what like the Screamtail Lux Cape is supposed to do. Let you just hit like
I
the
just
big
don't know how
numbers
you
on
beat-
something.
Yeah, which is like, I guess explains why there's a couple Grimmsnarl floating towards the top. It's just like
Yeah.
if you get real lucky, like you're just hitting positive Guardy matchups
Yeah.
where like you probably weren't before.
No Mystery Garden in this list either, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think the Mystery Garden's like super like if you're going like super turbo with the list, then yeah, it makes sense to play the garden because it's just like another way to get energy down.
Yeah. It just synergizes so well. Like you discard the psychic and you keep drawing.
Yeah, if you're just trying to like turbo through your list, the list that who was it? Who's the Latin player that won the regional a few months ago with Turbo Guardy, had Mega Guardy in the list. I'm looking it up right now while I'm talking out loud. Just gotta hit back a couple times.
Was it a Latin player or in a Latin American tournament?
Gustavo Wada. Yeah.
Wada, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. From Belo Horizonte. Yeah.
That was like a very turbo Guardy.
Yeah, just you're churning through the deck, you're disrupting, and you just need to like get to the bottom and just start putting big things like start taking things out with 1 prizers while you're building up another Mega Guardy, and like you just kind of hope they can't deal with a Mega Guardy.
Yeah.
On like a 1 or 2 card hand.
We did also
like that
have
list a lot.
Yeah, for sure. We did have Emma Hagen, who's been on like honestly just such a tear this season. Missing top cut by 1 point with just the classic. And the one thing I wanted to say about this list is I just respect that she posts her list before every tournament on Twitter. Like her exact 60 before round 1 even starts. I think that
I have mad respect.
Yeah, like that is so typical. And then to still just continually do really well. I mean, just having such a crazy season. Like, it's insane. Like, when you're at that level of, like, it's a letdown that I didn't make top 8. And, like, me making top 16 is, like, not doing well. I think that is crazy. One of our locals, actually, Sanjay, did really well with this Absolbox list as well. I played him actually at a cup a week before Toronto when I was on Dengo, and man, the Genesect was insane. When I first saw the Genesect, I was like, oh fuck. I'm about to get waxed. And it was so good.
Playing the Ace Nullifier?
Yes.
Oh, that's actually kind of sick.
Yeah. So they turn off Prime Catcher. They turn off. So like basically what I think their main game plan against Dengo is turbo out the Absol, force you to like burn through your resources to kill the Absol quickly, or just keep getting clawed and keep losing important resources, or just like just kind of get bodied at that point. And then they just evil tall trap, and they just like clutch set up like a 4-6 prize turn.
That's actually kind of broken.
It was because they'll like they'll clutch with the evil tall. The next turn they'll retreat into Kangaskhan, draw 2 cards, Petra the evil tall back in, and then clutch again. So they constantly recreate the poison loop, generating their own damage counters, like just chipping away at you.
It's actually really fucking broken.
Yeah, I was talking to some people locally after. I was like, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he top 8 of the tournament, and he was doing really well. I believe he just lost he lost his winning in,
which is actually it's really impressive.
Yeah. Like to get that far, really impressive. So shout out to him. 100%. Looking at the meta game though, Dengo did not do well. Dengo had the top 8 placement, and then we're going a long time before we find another one. The next was 58th. So only one Gholdengo in the top 50. I think it's 5 in the top 64. But like once you start getting down to like 60th place, like there's a lot more. I think that's kind of where a lot more Dengos were in there as well.
Yeah. Well, I think they just hit like the Guardy walls. I mean,
for sure.
I was looking through some of the placements, like who was I just looking at that played Dengo that's kind of down there that normally wouldn't be. Was it Andrew Hedrick?
It might have been Hedrick. Hedrick, Josh Frank, Caleb Rogerson, Nathan Ginsberg, Vincent Owen, Benny Billinger.
Excuse me.
Austin Charles.
I was looking at Andrew. Yeah. Hedrick in day 2 looks like got bodied by a Terrazard, and then Emma Hagen.
Yeah, Terrazard, Emma Hagen, and a Pult.
Yeah. Just insane. Just unlucky.
Yeah, just hitting the wrong.
Emma
I mean, that's
Hagen.
like that's we've said that for so long. Like if you just don't hit the right matchups in day 2, you're just not going to have fun.
Yeah. It's kind of over at that point, for sure.
Yeah, you just got to like hope you hit the right stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to look at Josh Frank's run because that was
Josh Frank, day 2, lost to an Eevee box played by not Emma Hagen. Beat
Terrabox.
Pult, beat a Mirror, lost to Rahul on Terrabox, beat a Kangaskhan, then lost to a Guardy. Kind of what I not far off what I would expect. He did lose to Emma Hagen in day 1 though, which is kind of hilarious.
Dang, that
you just can't avoid Emma Hagen.
Variant.
Yeah.
Just Emma Hagen for the W's all around.
Yeah. It was his only loss in day 1 though, was Emma Hagen. Or in phase 1. I really hate that they're like we're doing 1 round the day before. I'm not a fan of that whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't really.
I think that is just such a dumb change. If I'm being honest here.
It's just unnecessary.
Yeah, it makes things more complicated than they need to be. I don't know. But dengo had
I
a
don't like it.
16% conversion rate, which I feel like isn't bad, right? I feel like that's fine.
No, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, like it did have the most decks in day 2. I think it had day 2 it had 18. It had 19% of the meta, and day 1 was 20% of the meta. So like, I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, almost a 1-to-1 conversion.
Yeah. Overall though, I think the tournament was pretty good. I didn't. So like, I was actually kind of paying attention to Twitter just to see if there were any issues people were talking about, and I didn't see anything, which is actually like crazy.
Shocking.
Yeah, which is also like blows my mind that I'm expecting a problem. Like that is absurd to me. That like we expect so little from a tournament organizer of the most popular IP on the planet by a mile to not do something stupid, to like not just completely mess something up. And like, I think that's a really sad state of affairs when that's the expectation we have.
Well, I mean, you have to think they're also going to be doing NAIC and Worlds.
That is probably the greatest news I could have ever heard. I don't know anyone who isn't actively employed by Gaming Gen who thinks this is good. Like I genuinely like went through like when that got announced and like you just saw the flurry of, oh my God, this is the worst news of all time posts. I genuinely was looking for like positive, like, oh, this is so cool. I really like them as a TO. And I found one, and in their bio, they had a, like, I work for Gaming Gen. So I'm like, okay. So like, you know, if I worked for Gaming Gen, I'd probably be tweeting about how cool they are too.
Yeah, I mean, it would only track.
You know, yeah, that's just, I don't know. That just feels like we're trying to, that's just like self-reliance at that point.
Yeah, I mean, we got to make sure that we're preserving our own paychecks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. I hope that maybe next year the Gaming Gen experiment ends. I really hope so. I don't think it's going to happen, but you know, a player can dream.
One can hope.
Yeah. I just honestly, I have not wanted to actively grind a Worlds invite since I came back, and it's pretty much been Gaming Gen. Like, cause my first full season playing again was last season, which was Gaming Gen. This season was Gaming Gen. So I'm just hoping it's like a 2-year contract. I don't think it is. I just want more events. I want better events. I want people to have fun. And like the main thing, I also saw this in like a local Discord this week, is people were talking about like they are not excited to go to Indy. Like they don't know if they're going to even like attend the Indy regionals, which is like a 4-hour drive.
Shit, you got
like super travelable. Like people who are like, I don't even know if I'm going to try. Like I didn't enjoy Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh kind of sucked. Like it was a pain in the ass to get in. The Wi-Fi was terrible. You know, I couldn't hear the announcements. Like, and this all comes to game. Like this is on Gaming Gen. Like this is your job to make the tournament function. And when the tournament doesn't function, it's on you. And I mean, there has been no acceptance of any liability or any failure by Gaming Gen, which is just so frustrating. And like, I was like genuinely depressed reading these people who are like newer to the game. You know, they're all like post-COVID players. And they're just like, yeah, I don't think if I go, I'll even like be a competitor. I'll just play side events. And like their reasoning isn't because like they don't want to play in the main event. It's that the main event for Pittsburgh for them was run so poorly, they don't even want to do it. And that to me is just so brutal. Like that's so depressing. And that's like the state of Gaming Gen. And that's like honestly also the reason I'm so critical of them. Because like I know what this will do and it's happening. this is the chickens coming home. Like this is what is going to happen. Like if you leave a hole in your house and during winter, it's going to get cold. Like
these are big facts.
It's very unfortunate. But it is what it is, I guess. Hopefully Pokemon. I after every regional I've attended, I have put in a support ticket, like expressing my distaste for what we experienced as players.
Yeah, I mean, you should be doing that, right? Like if you're having a bad time, you should be making it known that you're not having a good time because you have to pay a lot of money to go to these things.
Yeah, like I mean, I understand like not getting a response to a support ticket feels like no one's listening, but they're listening. Like those get to people, right? Like you just because you don't get a response or like you don't see the change, it doesn't mean no one sees the complaint. Right? So like one person putting in a support ticket will not do anything. But if 1,000 people put in a support ticket, it will do something. Like I guarantee you it will. So it's just
somebody will notice.
Keep up the pressure. Pressure works. Like if there's anything that can be learned from the current state of American existence, pressure works. So like you just got to keep going. Like don't get discouraged, keep fighting, keep doing your thing, keep doing everything you can to make it better. And eventually the dam will break. That is my
At least you hope so.
Hope is all I
got. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Moving on though.
All right.
From Toronto. Yeah.
Let's move past the depressing stuff.
Let me get off my soapbox. Yeah. What do we got? What did we get like any new cards announced?
Zach, we have a whole set.
Oh, there's a whole set?
Out. There's a whole set.
Wow.
And it's a set I'm very much looking forward to because that means
let's look forward to it.
It's the end of the era of Scarlet Violet and on.
Oh, a little post rotation.
Yes. So for those who don't know, welcome to the chaotic end of season or mid-season rotation. Japan every year does rotate. If you're not familiar with rotation, I'll dial it back a little bit. Essentially, a whole year's worth of sets get pushed out of standard format. So normally between 4 and 6 sets, normally 4 main sets, 2 mini, all get shuffled out of rotation. This year, so in March, or it's April 10th, correct, is when rotation is?
I believe April 10th is correct.
Yeah. April 10th for us, January 23rd for Japan. So a whopping 3-month difference. You lose these 4 sets. So the 4 sets we're losing: Scarlet Violet base, Obsidian Flames, Paldea Evolved, and Paradox Rift. Those are the 4 main sets. The 2 mini sets are 151 and Paldean Fates.
True.
So we're losing a good chunk of cards. So RIP. I'll throw up the graphic for everybody during post here. Of the image that Pokemon sent out, the Pokemon Japan account tweeted out of all the cards leaving. It's like a cool little image. It's full of a bunch of Easter eggs. Of all throws the cards that are leaving. Shout out to you if you get them all in the comments. I do have them all written down. I know them all.
It's a big list.
Yeah.
I think I feel like every year we say this too, this rotation's brutal. There's so much leaving. But this year, I don't know, this year feels more impactful than last year because we lose archetypes. We don't just lose engine pieces, right? We lost Refinement Curlia last year, but Gardevoir somehow got better.
kept winning.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
it
you think
won
about like
more.
last year's
It's crazy.
rotation, we lost two big archetypes. Well, three really. We lost Snorlax Doll, Lugia V Star, and Regidrago V Star. Those were like the three that were still kind of around. Regidrago by that point had kind of died. Lugia was still seeing mid-level play, and Snorlax Doll was just for the degenerates.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to see what happens with this because, like you said, this is a big one because we're losing one of the biggest cards in all of Standard, and that is Iona.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely massive. That like we lose our best hand disruption by a long shot.
Yeah, and like it's gonna be really fun to see how we do in like a non-hand disruption format. We haven't had non-hand disruption since God. We probably haven't had no
Sun
hand
and
disruption.
Moon? Like Sun and Moon era?
No, I think there was there was one set. It was literally just the Scarlet Violet set release
Okay.
where we didn't have any hand disruption because Marnie had rotated and the only hand disruption was Roxanne.
Oh, it was like before you had Iono, because that was what, Paldea?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Paldea. Yeah. So yeah, we had one format. And it was a short format. It was only like 2 or 3 months. Because Paldea came out like immediately after Scarlet Violet base. It was one of those like short formats. I think that came out in like March or April. And
That sounds
Scarlet Violet
correct.
base came out in like February.
Scarlet and
January,
Violet came
February?
out at the end of March. Paldea came out in June. Yeah, so you had essentially 8
April,
weeks.
May. Yeah.
Yeah, like Scarlet came out literally the last day of March. And then by mid-June you had Paldea.
Yeah, because that's what started the new rotation cycle of it being like in the spring versus it being in like the first of the year.
Yeah. I really wish it would I wish they would go back to that of like it following the new season.
Just make it follow Worlds.
Yeah.
I we'll get into it. But yeah, so this rotation is going to be big. A lot of like whole tier 1 archetypes are gone.
Yeah. I mean,
so Guardy, Dango,
Charizard.
The two biggest, Charizard is up there too. So yeah, you're losing 3 of the biggest archetypes, 3 of the 4 biggest archetypes. Dracobolt does take a pretty big hit to this because they are losing Luminous, which is a huge loss for the decks, and I had to go back to playing basic energy. Japan, I believe, has their first post rotation tournament coming up in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The next Champions League is like right around the corner, so we'll start to see what post rotation looks like. I have a feeling that there is going to be a really good. I think this is going to be a fun format. I know a lot of people don't like the idea of like very little hand disruption, but I think hand disruption being like basically just Judge and Harlequin and the Rocket stuff.
It'll be really interesting.
Like, I think it's gonna make for kind of a fun format. I think it's gonna be a good like break from what we've been used to of just like being able to predict like what
I think it increases the skill. I think it allows for more skill expression. When like I have to decide is an Eerie a better play, is Zerosic a better play? Like, do I just go with Judge? Like, I think that's very interesting.
Well, disruption now has to be very specified, right? Like disruption is not just blanket like N or an Iono. It's very much, do I need to disrupt the amount of cards in your hand? Do I need to disrupt the exact cards in your hand?
Yeah.
Or do I need to disrupt your setup?
Yeah. Which would be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And I mean, obviously you're going to keep hearing me talk about it on this podcast until it happens, but I'm getting really prepared for it. I've basically taken apart all my current Standard stuff, put everything that's rotating in a binder, and I'm rebuilding what I think is going to be meta. Obviously we're waiting for Ascended Heroes still to come out, But yeah, no, we'll know more. But we do have the full set now. At least like 95 to 99% of the cards that are going to be in the set
Mhm.
for Perfect Order. Like I said, Japan is going to be announcing everything, and obviously by the time this comes up, I'll put a couple things in there as we talk. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything post rotation before we start talking about the?
Yeah, no, it's just crazy. Like looking at like from Toronto, the top 5 placing decks, Gholdengo, Dragapult, Charizard, Noctowl, like a Turbo Guardy, like a Frillish list, like the Henry Chow Guardy without Jellicent, and then
Yeah,
the regular Guardy Jellicent. That's like it's roughly 58 to 59% of the meta, and 4 of those 5 decks are entirely gone. So like it's a huge vacuum that's being created by this rotation. Whereas last year it was just a lot like, we lost things like PokeStop, we lost consistency cards, we didn't lose archetypes. We lost like decks had to change the way they functioned, but the decks still existed. Whereas this time
yep.
there is just a vacuum being created. Whereas last year was much more of like an adaptation. Like, how do you function without these cards you're used to? What's the new cards? Or are you no longer a deck?
I mean, I think now is like a good time to, especially as like a TCG player, to really reevaluate like what you're playing now,
Mm-hmm.
because that will set you up for success going into the rest of the season. Um, yeah, I just think that losing all these like archetypes in general
Mm-hmm.
is just going to make for a much more, I think, diverse format. And I think that like this happens every year, right? When we get close to a format like rotating, um, the card pool is so wide that you have so many options to choose from, and to mitigate like getting hit by the fringe stuff, everything centralizes on 3
Mm-hmm.
or 4 decks, right? And normally around the time of big rotations, like we saw this when like Broken Lugia rotated and it became Single Strike Lugia,
Sure.
like around, what year was that, 2023?
I think so.
That rotation, because that was the first rotation post COVID, so we had like a super long like set of like cards that just were never designed to work together or
Yeah.
should have been together. Um, around that time, like the format was just so narrow. Like going into, I think, Pittsburgh 2023, it was literally like you're playing like 4 decks. It was Guardy, Lugia, um, Lost Box, and Charizard, and that was it.
Yeah.
There was fringe stuff. You had like Darkrai Box, like Darkrai V. You had like even more fringe stuff, like the Reggies, the Regigigas deck,
Yeah.
which like it lost a bunch of good tools to it. So like as we get further into things tend to constrict as we get further into like the season.
Yeah.
But then once we get to rotation, everything widens back up again because there's so many playable options and nobody knows what's good.
Yeah.
Everything is fringe.
And that'll be really interesting to see what happens. Just like as we get closer, I think people will get
Yeah, because there's
more into their testing, and we'll be able to see like what people are really hyping.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. This kind of stuff is what I live for. I love deck building. It's like it's easily my favorite part of the game is, the theory, the fishbowling hand, the trying to determine what's going to be like the next best play for the next big thing. I mean, I'm not a regional grinder for, you know, the most part,
Yeah.
but I do like to play competitive, and I think this is just like the most fun to have right now. It's just seeing what's there I'll link the potential set list for Perfect Order in the description for us. I'll just throw it in.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many cool cards coming. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna breeze through a couple of them that
Go ahead.
we
Yeah.
didn't have last time. The newest one is the new Psychic Energy card. The new special energy. I don't know if you saw that. I can't remember. I think it's called Telepath Energy.
Telepath Psychic Energy. I have it on screen right now, actually.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. It's basically Battle VIP Pass on an energy attach for Psychic decks.
It's insane.
So that'll be fun to see if that's actually worthwhile in something. I'm thinking of maybe something like just like a straight Jelly Lock deck that could use something like this, where you set up the Frillish with the Telepath, and you just attack with your active Frillish, and you just item lock from turn 2.
You know what would be crazy, actually?
And build up with Wonder Patches.
Playing this in like a Mega Guardy Jellicent with Chorus's Tenacity.
Yeah. It's super relevant.
You grab like an Artisan. Or no, we lose Artisan, don't we?
We do lose Artisan. You do get Lumio City though, which is
you get the city, which is
Artisan.
Like I mean we have Artisan at home. I mean you could grab Mystery Garden. Like there's plenty of options, but you grab this and a Stadium. Like throw this on your Frillish. Grab Ralt's, I don't know, other Pokemon.
Another Frillish.
Yeah. Another something. You honestly, it could be Latias. Because it doesn't specify rule box. It just says basic psychic Pokemon.
Yeah. No, it can be anything.
Could be Clefairy. Could be Diancie. Like, it could be a lot of things.
Yeah. And there is good support for Psychic. It's just
the Days and why. There's good support for Psychic.
Yeah, no doubt.
I actually love this in GLC as well.
Yeah, no, I was gonna eventually get there with GLC because we're getting PokePad. Supposedly it's getting reprinted in Perfect Order, as well as coming out in Ascended Heroes. But yeah, I think that this card in GLC specifically is just gonna go so nuts. It's gonna open up so many like cool lines of play for Goose Hala. Yeah, and then PokePad coming out is gonna be so insane. We should be getting this with Ascended, but it's supposed to be getting reprinted in Perfect Order. But this is essentially just going to replace Ultra Ball in a lot of decks that just can't afford to get rid of the resources.
Yeah.
That don't work out of the discard pile. So like Dragapult will really benefit from a PokePad. There is the new Terragon, which is going to be extremely cool. I think if you're playing like a Lucario deck or any sort of like Rocks deck, that'll be really broken.
How do you spell Terragon?
Tarragon.
Thank you.
Yeah, God, I hate that I knew that.
I was I thought I tried that at first, but it wasn't pulling anything up. But we're good.
Yeah,
I got it up there now.
Just going to go recover.
Yeah. So good for Lucario.
Pokemon. Yeah, so good for Lucario. It's basically a one of that you need. It's so good. I think we already covered the Meowth, right?
We did, yeah.
Yeah. Meowth, the Mega Zygarde, that's all been talked about.
Yeah, we talked about all that.
Yeah, Mega Clefable is new, but I think Mega Clefable is bad in Cope, and I don't think you should be playing it.
I mean, I just don't see how this is good.
You're max capped at 280 damage.
In a format where 300 is the new must hit at least.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not even taking out the Mega Zygarde EX.
Yeah.
Which is super cringe. I think we talked about Binnacle.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we've already kind of hit on everything that's like the big notes. The Binnacle, the Tyrantrum, which I unfortunately think is going to be bad in GLC, which kind of sucks. I love me some dinosaurs.
You do love dinosaurs, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I kind of hope this gets like a really cool like IR. I think that'd be so cool.
It's not, which is really annoying.
it's really annoying because there's going to be an IR Tyrantum
Uh,
or Tyrunt.
Yep. Tyrunt, yeah. Tyrunt gets an IR and Aurorus gets an IR.
Yeah, which is
But Tyrantrum does not.
dumb.
RIP. They hate Tyrantrum.
They hate
They've
to
only
see
ever
dinos
this is the
on
fourth
top.
yeah, it's only the fourth time that they've ever printed it, so
Yeah.
there's also that. I think if you think Decidueye EX is going to be good, you don't know how to play the game. I'm just going to call what it is. It's going to be a bad deck. Because you're kind of pigeonholed into playing the Vivillon line, which sure you get the
It's a lot of
evolutions
stage 2s to maintain.
Yeah, the more stage 2s you play in a standard deck, the more you lose me. I get that they can evolve instantly with the forest. You can call me crazy, but it's
like you're
be
playing
so
multiple stage 2s without an ability called Quick Search. Like,
yeah, I mean, grass decks right now are really bad, and they have access to the forest. So, I guess maybe once Dengo rotates and like the one hit potential kind of fades away, but like Raging Bolt is still around, and I don't know if that's going to be in a non-zero amount. I don't know what that deck would look like.
yeah.
Maybe it's like a 1 or 2 of inclusion in like an Iono's Belly Bolt deck.
Mm-hmm.
But like Lightning Week is like there's nothing that's like Lightning Week that's relevant right now. So you're not really hitting for good weakness.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sold on it, but one hit potential kind of falls off, which is kind of cool. Except for Mega Lucario, which is like just a Duke Nukem of everything. And I guess you could throw like a Mega Zygarde in that list and do something. I don't know if it's good. Time will tell. But yes, rotation coming soon. Once we get more information from Japan, I do want to go through 1 week and start looking at lists. And probably the next couple weeks, seeing what like they're playing in city leagues post rotation.
Okay.
Not that I think that those are good lists. Not that I think that anybody who's listening should play those lists.
I think they're a good starting point. But
yeah,
you should
it's a good way
100%
to, like,
do your own testing and not rely on Japan metas.
Yeah, you should definitely like talk about it with people and like spitball ideas instead of just building a Japanese list.
Yeah, I mean their formats just play really differently, and like you just need to play. They don't play the same, so like they're the starting point, and there's going to be so much evolution from there.
Yeah, so take everything with a grain of salt, but yeah, I think that there's going to be some good information coming out soon that I'm excited to talk about. So that's my spiel for the pod.
Well, I'm glad you had your spiel. I didn't really talk about anything, obviously. I don't know if I mentioned it. I don't like Gaming Gen. Also, I found a fork in my kitchen. I
Shocking.
put water on my hand and then it was wet. It's crazy how this works. But I want to thank everyone for listening to this week's episode of the PokeStop Podcast. We will definitely be back next week to talk more post-rotation and probably about my love of Gaming Gen.
You got to hit that note every week.
Gotta hit it. I mean, it's like the Dan's and why I have to talk about how much I love Gaming Gen. We also have 3 tournaments this weekend. One in Birmingham, one in Merida, and then a special event in Australia. So we will definitely be talking about those results and seeing how the meta adapts following Toronto. But that is all for this week. And we will see y'all next week for another episode of the PokeStop Podcast.
Later.